Hi everyone, welcome to my channel or welcome back. My name is Stacy. I'm the Pleiadian Awakener. So today let's talk about Venus going retrograde in the sign of Leo, where she's going to be spending approximately 4 months in this sign. Normally she only spends about a month in each and every zodiac sign. So wherever Leo is in your birth chart is definitely going to be going through some review, some reassessment, some reflection, even some rebalancing and possible changes for that matter as well. So Venus does go retrograde every 18 months approximately. And the really neat thing about Venus retrograde is that she returns to the same zodiac sign every 8 years, which is really amazing. So the last time Venus specifically was retrograde in Leo, and she might even have dipped into the very early degrees of Virgo, was 2015, 2007, 1999, 1991, and you can keep going back 8 years if you're curious about this story that's going to continue to unfold for all of us and also as a collective. So also I forgot to mention the time period would have been approximately July to September roughly in each and every one of these years. So definitely reflect back, what was going on in your life back in 2015. That's the last time we had this retrograde, and you're going to continue to see something unfold over the next 4 months. Now, Venus will enter her shadow period beginning on June the 19th at 12 degrees of Leo. She goes retrograde, officially goes retrograde on July 22nd. And again, when I'm throwing out dates, you guys, give or take a day or two, depending on where you are on the planet. So July 22nd, she officially goes retrograde at 28 degrees of Leo. Now, whenever a planet is at a standstill, so this is any planet that goes retrograde, they're really powerful. They're extremely potent. So definitely I encourage you to maybe journal over this time. See what happens around June 19th. Some of us will be feeling this right now as I'm recording this on June the 10th. Some of us could be feeling this energy right away, but definitely pay attention to what happens around middle of July. Because again, she's going to be revisiting this point in the late September month time frame. So I'm going to say if you have any planets or points or angles from 10 degrees of Leo until the end of the sign, even maybe the early degrees of Virgo, like 0 to maybe 3 or 4 degrees, you're going to feel this energy the most. And she's going to be tracing back and forth over this area of your life. So just keep that in mind. Now, Venus does go direct September the 3rd at 12 degrees of Leo, but she does not leave that shadow period until October the 7th. And then she hops into Virgo the very next day on October the 8th. So again, just be mindful of this entire time. And I don't know, just see what happens. And if you can, think back to, like I said, those time periods and just see what the next chapter is in your story when it comes to Venus type of themes in your life. So Venus rules Taurus and Libra. So as a collective, just to generalize this, our money, our self-worth, our values, definitely love, definitely relationships, beauty will be up for some review, reassessments, some adjustments, and even second chances. Venus retrograde also could bring back people from our past. So also keep that in mind. Also, just to add another layer of this, depending on where Taurus and Libra sit in your birth chart, that's going to add an additional layer as to what this could mean for you personally. And I'm going to get into that once we get into every single sign pretty quick here. And then also, just to add another layer, not to confuse you, but this is happening in Leo. So we also have to incorporate the possibility of Leo type of themes. So drama could be happening for all of us over the next 4 months. This also rules like leaders, leadership, royalty. So, we might hear some news, maybe something about the royal family, maybe some drama happening there. Also, if you're a leader in an organization or if you own a business, this might affect you as well. Of course, everybody's birth chart is different, and I'm not dooming and glooming here, because at the end of the day, we're dealing with a benefic, which is Venus, which is a positive, a good thing. So, but just keep that in mind. If you are a leader, if you're a CEO or whatever the case may be, there might be some restructuring when it comes to that area of life. Also, this rules children. So again, wonderful time to spend with your kids, wonderful time to maybe get to know your kids better on a deeper, more intimate level, whatever the case may be. But children are highlighted here. Leo is a very fun, heart-oriented part of the sky, of our charts. So have fun, you guys. Like, that's one thing that we need right now, is to maybe cut loose, even if it's just a little bit, and have some fun, have some pleasure in our lives, and have that enjoyment. Also, this rules heart health as well. So maybe some of us will be reminded of our bodies, the health of our bodies, and specifically maybe the spine, the back, and the heart, for example. Also, this rules like Hollywood, Bollywood, movie stars, things like that. So who knows what's going to be happening over the next 4 months when it comes to that kind of stuff. Who knows? Drama, maybe. Also, creativity. Leo is the sign of ultimate creativity and passions. So go after what you want, during this transit. Or if you get some really incredible creative downloads, I encourage you to get them out of your head somehow, put them on paper or computer or in your phone or whatever the case may be. Get them out of your mind, because you might get really wicked insights and downloads during this time as well. And also, Leo is all about nostalgia, all about the good old days as well. So you might also find that you're reminiscing about the past, something about the past. And again, depending on where Leo is sitting in your chart, you could be just reminiscing about the good old days, basically, and maybe even sharing stories about the good old days, or passing on your knowledge to another generation or your grandkids or whatever the case may be. So during her time in Leo, she's going to be making squares to the fixed energies. So that is Taurus and Scorpio. And then she will be making an opposition to Aquarius as well. So again, this is Venus we're dealing with. It's definitely a different energy. A Venus square is a lot different than, say, a Saturn or a Pluto square. So again, nothing too crazy here, but I also want to make note of this in case you do have, say, a stellium in Taurus or Scorpio. You are going to feel this a lot, because squares make you move. Squares, sort of get us rumbling to change something in our lives. So, and I mean, Venus at the end of the day is our money and is love, just to sort of shorten that up. So just something to think about. If you are a Taurus, if you're a Scorpio, and also an Aquarius, and then also Leo, this is going to definitely includes you as well. Now, Venus is going to be trining Sagittarius and Aries, which is really incredible energy for both of those fire signs. And then she's going to be making sextiles to Libra and Gemini. And Libra and Gemini, this is more of an opportunity aspect for you. So this could be an opportunity coming back from the past, people coming back into your life and providing you with those opportunities or those gifts. And again, this could be something to do with money or love or whatever the case may be. Now, if I did not mention your sign, don't worry. We're going to get into each and every sign here in just a minute, but I always like to talk about sort of the prominent energies, which are, of course, the conjunctions, the squares, the trines, and the sextiles. Those are sort of the more major aspects in the sky, but we'll get into each and every sign in just a second here. One aspect I wanted to just make note of here is Venus is going to be squaring off to Uranus, which is currently in Taurus. She's going to be doing this 3 times over the next few months. So I have the dates written down here if you're curious. So July the 2nd, we have August the 9th, and September the 29th. So this could play out in different ways for each and every one of us because, of course, our charts are all different. Now, what I immediately thought of when Venus is square Uranus is breaking free from a stagnant relationship. Now, when I say relationship, I could mean business, I could mean work, I could mean a friendship that's no longer working for you, that's dragging you down. But again, this could also be love as well. So this is the energy of wanting freedom, ultimate freedom over a commitment in some way, shape, or form. So again, look to your Leo house, look to your Taurus house. That's going to give you an idea of where this sort of tension aspect is going to come from. And you're going to feel it. All of us are going to feel this because we all have Leo somewhere and we all have Taurus somewhere. And it does not matter if your house is empty or full of planets. It does not matter. You are going to feel this energy regardless. So you're going to want to break free from something or someone in your life over the next 4 months. Also, you guys, what I love about this transit is, say you're thinking to yourself, well, you know what? I can't afford to quit this job. I can't lose my partner. It's a horrible relationship. It's a toxic relationship, but I can't go anywhere. Like, I just can't, I'm not going to have security. I'm not going to have this. I'm not going to that. Okay, that's fine. But trust me, you're going to feel this tension. And this is going to make you have the courage to break yourself free from those chains. It's also going to bring change too. So anyway, I just want you to be aware of this energy. I'm not saying leave your partner. I'm not saying leave your job. And I'm not saying, throw all caution to the wind and bet the farm and whatever, buy a sailboat and go around the world. I'm just saying that energy is rumbling in all of us to break free of something in our lives. So the energy is there if you want to take advantage of it. Some other things I want just everyone to keep in mind here is really, really big, expensive purchases are possible during this time, but also there's a lot of regret that might follow. So anything that you take action on during this time period, whether it's a really big, expensive purchase, like I'm thinking luxury, like that's what sort of Venus rules, is really big, high ticket items. I'm not talking about like going out and, I don't know, spending $200 on a restaurant dinner or something like that. I mean big ticket items like a sailboat, a yacht, a big fancy mansion, a big fancy car, whatever the case may be. Just know that come October, things might look way different than what you anticipated. So just keep that in mind because we are going to be craving that luxury. We're going to be craving that, you want to spend big bucks, you want to spend money, you want to lavish your partner in jewels and all this kind of stuff. That energy is there, but just be mindful that it's going to look a lot different in October, aka regret, So anyway, I just want to put that out there. Same goes with relationships, you guys. Now, if you're already in a relationship, that's fine. But I'm more so talking about if you meet someone new, especially right now, especially in the month of June, because this energy is already sort of like upon us. So if you meet someone new and you're like head over heels and you're like, oh my God, I'm going to go to Vegas, I'm going to elope, blah, 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 blah. Again, you might regret it in October. It might look different in October. And I'm not saying don't date. Absolutely date. Absolutely. Everybody has free will. Everybody has free will. It is what it is. But I'm just saying the energy is there where we are not seeing something clearly. So yeah, sure, date. But wait until October because I almost guarantee, even if it's something itty bitty and small, it's going to look different. Something about your partner is going to look different, especially if it's a new partner. They're going to look different in some way, shape, or form. And this also includes business partnerships, and this also includes friendships. So just keep that in mind. Plastic surgery, tattoos, any sort of beauty treatment, piercings, really drastic, dramatic haircuts or hairstyles. Again, they'll probably look different in October, you guys. So, I mean, if you want that tattoo really bad, okay, fine. But again, keep in mind, it might look different to you, or you might question what the hell you were thinking in October. So, but again, don't get me wrong. If you say booked an appointment way back, I don't know, 6 months ago, and your appointment happens to fall during this time, then that's fine. I'm more so talking about that urge, of, oh my God, I'm going to go get my belly button pierced, or, oh, I'm going to, get a chemical peel done on my face, and I've never had it done before. That kind of stuff, anything new, okay? Anything new, like brand spanking new, just pump the brakes. Just pump the brakes if you can. And trust me, the urge is going to be there, like really strong. But just, if you can, hold off. And if you can't, that's fine. Like I said, I'm just here to kind of warn you about the energy. Now, with that said, if you do have Venus retrograde natally in your chart, sometimes these things are okay. Like sometimes they do work out for you. I personally have Venus retrograde in my natal birth chart. I actually put this to the test, the last few Venus retrogrades. And I'm going to be honest with you, it was like a 50-50 thing. I've had beauty treatments done, and but they weren't brand new. Like I kind of knew what I was getting myself into, and they were fine. But I remember another time I wanted a specific tattoo, a brand new tattoo, and I did my research. I pulled images offline. I created something new that I was going to pass along to my artists. And I wanted it so bad. But then again, I was aware of this energy, right? So what I did was I pinned it on my wall. And I thought, okay, if I still want this tattoo, I'm going to still want it within like 4 months. Like what's 4 months, right? So the 4 months passed. And guess what? I was so grateful I didn't put that on my body. I didn't know what the hell I was thinking. I'm like, I was just shocked. I was like, wow. So like I said, I have Venus retrograde. Personally, I've seen it like 50-50. You know what I mean? So anyway, I just wanted to share that personal story to try to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. So anyway, you do you. I'm just here to warn you. What else here? I think I already mentioned this. Yeah, past partners might show up. Even past lifetimes, if you do believe in that. So people from our past lifetimes might show up during this time period for whatever reasons. Usually lessons that we haven't quite learned yet. Also keep in mind breakups that happen during a Venus retrograde. They usually don't stay broken up. However, this is a different retrograde with Venus squaring off to Uranus, and I already talked about that. So this could go either way. Again, it just depends on your purpose, your life path, whatever it is. You know what I mean? So the energy is there to get back together, but there's also the energy supports permanent breakups and permanent like freedom from whoever it is that you're trying to get away from, basically. This could also be like course corrections when it comes to relationships, like fated encounters. Also during this time, we're going to reassess our worth. Our values also might be bubbling up to the surface during this time or tested at this time. And also our natural talents, gifts, and abilities. We're going to be re-looking at those things as well. Like what is your worth when it comes to whatever you do on a day-to-day basis from a work perspective. Really good time, you guys, to go within. Anytime a planet goes retrograde, that's inward energy. So it could be a quieter time for some people versus external circumstances unfolding. So if nothing dramatic happens in your life in the next 4 months, it's more so probably an internal energy, and you might be conscious of it and you might not be conscious of it. So it really depends on your chart, where Venus is in your chart, and where, Leo is, Taurus is, and Libra is in your personal birth chart. Okay, So let's dive into every single sign. But before I do that, I just want to remind everyone that all my videos on my YouTube channel, even when I'm doing tarot, I always use whole sign house system. I use Western tropical astrology. So this probably won't resonate with each and every one of you because it depends on the house system that you personally prefer. So I always say, take what resonates, leave the rest. Do watch for your ascendant. If you don't know your ascendant, your sun sign is definitely applicable as well. Also feel free to watch for if you have a stellium in, well, especially if you have a stellium in Leo, Taurus, or Libra, feel free to watch those videos as well, and watch for your moon sign as well, because this is really your emotional body as well. So, and if you are interested in a personal reading, I'll be sure to put my contact information down below in the description box. I have lots of different types of readings available on my website, so check it out. And if you have any questions or if you can't find what you're looking for, just send me a message, and all of my readings are customizable to whatever it is you want. So I just want to put that out there. All right, so let's start with Aries. So Aries, this is happening in your 5th house of children, love affairs, romance, dating, sex, creativity, self-expression, drama, joy, fertility, gambling, and hobbies. So Aries, this energy is trining you. So really, I think you're going to have a lot of fun in the next 4 months, or at least maybe taking a step back and having some fun, taking a vacation, spending time with family and friends. So any of those areas of life you could be reassessing or reflecting on over the next 4 months. Now, creativity might be at an ultimate high, Aries, especially if you own a business or if you're a leader. I'm going to say make sure you have either a pen and paper handy, or, well, it seems like we have our phones glued to our butts these days. So have something handy where you can take notes. I feel like Aries, you could be getting some pretty cool downloads in the next 4 months when it comes to, you know, possibly career, lifestyle, but also like you could get some really wicked intuitive hits, you know. So again, write that down, and I'm not saying act on them right away. I would recommend wait till Venus goes at least direct in the sky. But anyway, like I said, you do you. But yeah, definitely creative impulses or creative projects are going to be sort of possibly at the forefront for you. Also, Aries, you're going to want to have fun at all costs, possibly during this transit. So do watch the pocketbook. I mean, I warn that with every single sign, but do watch out for those really big, high ticket, you know, really expensive items. So just be mindful of that. Really good time for spending with your kids, getting to know your kids better. Vacations, resorts, water parks, rock climbing, biking, you know, whatever it is, Aries, definitely maybe spend some time with your kids, or amp up that energy. Get your kids involved in maybe some new hobbies or some new sports. Definitely is encouraged at this time. Also, Aries, watch out for maybe biting off more than you can chew, because during this time we're all going to feel very kind of expansive, I guess. I mean, that would be more Jupiter, but we're going to feel on top of the world. We're going to feel really indulgent. And you might make promises to like a whole bunch of people, and then when push comes to shove, especially in October, you might not be able to meet those deadlines. So just be very mindful of your energy, because again, this energy is really going to make us feel fantastic. Also, Aries, love coming back from the past is a possibility. And if you're saying to yourself, well, Stacey, I'm married, it doesn't matter. It does not matter, especially when we're dealing with 5th house stuff. You could be dealing with people from your past or old lovers coming back from the past. And also, Aries, you will be reassessing your relationships, I'm going to say, of all kinds. So business, friendship, and love. You will be reassessing your relationships at this time. Also, Again, something to do with work could be tied in here as well, like how you make money, maybe new inventive ideas to make money, side hustles, and also maybe your values as well. You might be reassessing at this time. Taurus, this is happening in your 4th house of family, home, roots, self-care, property, the past, retirement. This is also a parental access, Taurus. So this could be something to do with a parent or a mom figure in your life. Now, you could really, Taurus, be reassessing any of these areas of your life. So ask yourself, Taurus, what makes you feel at home? You know, really great time to beautify your space, beautify your home. Renovations are really, really supported actually during this transit. Also keep in mind, there could be expenses coming up regarding the home. Some of them could be expected, but some of them you might not see coming. So just do keep that in mind. Also, Taurus, you might want to stick around home a little bit more. You might want to reminisce a little bit more about the past or about your roots or growing up, or maybe family reunions, getting together with people you haven't seen in a really long time. That could be a possibility. Do watch out for emotional eating, Taurus. I can absolutely see that possibility in your chart here. So do watch out for that. And also, you're ruled by Venus. So this really could hit you very, very personally, very intimately. You know, I'm thinking, you know, body image, beauty, your values, you know, am I worthy? And yes, you are worthy, Taurus. But you're going to be sort of like reflecting on all these sorts of things at this time. Also, you might be looking at your day-to-day routines, habits, duty, responsibility, work. This could also be coworkers. This could be changes in the workplace, possibly, or getting new coworkers is a possibility. You're going to be looking at your health. Diet, nutrition might feature as well, and even something to do with your pets might be highlighted in the next 4 months here, Taurus. Okay, Gemini. I'm just going to grab a drink. So Gemini, this is happening in your 3rd house of the mind, communications, transportation, siblings, cousins, neighbors, relatives. This is the community you live in, the community you belong to, social media, the internet, and this also covers short distance travel. So Gemini, you could really be reassessing any areas of your life, basically, that I already mentioned, I mean. So you might find, Gemini, you might struggle actually the next 4 months to really express yourself or communicate or to somehow get your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions across at this time. Do watch out, Gemini, for negative thoughts, like negative Nancy thoughts, because again, this could affect you know, your self-worth, like, am I worthy? So I would suggest, if you're into it, you know, try out positive affirmations if that resonates with you. Stick them around your house, stick them in the bathroom, on the mirror, whatever the case may be. Again, this isn't going to pertain to each and every one of you, but the energy is there of possibly, obviously, turning inward. Also, Gemini, a really great time to take a break from any type of social media. You actually might want to take a little bit of a break from maybe siblings, cousins, neighbors. Again, you might want to kind of really retreat into your own space during this time. Not a bad thing. Definitely not a bad thing. But you might just be more withdrawn a little bit during this transit. Now, vehicle transportation purchases, again, watch out for big expenses with this energy. So if you're in the market to buy a new vehicle or a new bike or whatever the case may be, you might go after the most highest priced vehicle or bike or whatever the case is. So just keep that in mind. Because again, any high ticket item that you purchase, you might regret it come October. So just, again, I'm just warning folks about this energy. Also, perhaps Gemini, something to do with romance and dating, people coming back from the past. And if you're saying to yourself, well, I'm married, I'm happily married. Yeah, that doesn't matter with this energy. Sometimes people come back into our lives for just our own personal growth, evolution, lessons that we haven't yet learned. So just be mindful of that energy. And also for you, Gemini, creative downloads could be coming in as well during this time. So get them out on paper, get them, express them somehow, or if you're not really sure, then just, again, get them in your phone, put them on your computer, pen and paper, whatever the case may be. Just get those creative projects or ideas or whatever the case may be out of your mind onto paper, because these might come in like a flash of lightning and they might leave just as quick. So definitely take advantage of this energy. Also, something to do with your kids, or hobbies might feature at this time as well. Really good time to get to know your kids, and have some fun with them. Take a vacation with them, whatever the case may be. So children might feature, and also maybe diving into hobbies or reviving an old hobby is really encouraged during this time as well. Cancer, this is happening in your second house of money, work, finances, your income, your values, how you earn a living, and this also covers off your material possessions, Cancer. So you will likely be reassessing any one of these areas that I just mentioned of your life. So, for example, you could be re-looking at your material possessions. Purge, really good time to get rid of things. And again, if you're not sure, then put it off to the side, see how you feel about it in October, and then move forward with either getting rid of it or selling it or giving it away or whatever the case may be. But a really good example is, say you have multiple properties or you have multiple boats sitting in the yard or multiple vehicles or whatever the case may be. Maybe it's time to question or ask yourself, what sort of joy is that bringing into my life? Like, what sort of pleasure am I getting from multiple properties or multiple vehicles or whatever the case may be? Like, what brings you joy, Cancer? So it might be a good time to ask yourself that, do you really need all those things in the garage or in the basement or whatever the case may be? So a good time to purge and get rid of things. What else here? Also, Cancer, it could flip the other way, because we're all going to want to spend a lot of money during this transit because that's Venus. So you might want to accumulate more material possessions. So anyway, you do you, Cancer, but just be mindful of any really high priced ticket items you might regret in October. So just be mindful of this energy. If you could wait till at least Venus goes direct in September, perfect. Even better would be October. But anyway, I'll leave that up to you, Cancer. I'm just warning you of the energy. That's all. Okay, what else here? Yeah, and the same goes with homes and stuff like that, Cancer. So instead of, maybe buying a $400,000 home or $500,000 home, you're going to want to go after the $1 million home. Again, pump the brakes and ask yourself, do you really need like a 25-bedroom place or something like that? Or do you really need a house with 6 bathrooms and things like that might come up during this time? So just be mindful of that energy, because again, this energy is going to make us want to indulge like big time. So also another layer here, Cancer, would be something to do with friendships, groups or associations that you belong to. You actually could have friends reach out to you from the past, so be mindful of that. And also your home, your roots, your foundation might also come into the picture. Maybe even something to do with your parents or authority figures in your life. That this might also go through some reassessment, some readjustments. Again, if you're thinking of moving or in the middle of buying a home, just again, try to think through, do I really need a 12-bedroom house, or can I, am I okay to just buy a 4 or 5-bedroom house, whatever the case may be. So that definitely could be a possibility. Also, relatives coming back from the past, or family members you have not seen in a really long time, could also feature in the next 4 months. Leo. So Leo, you are the star of the show here. So Leo, I'm going to be honest, because this is in your first house, especially if you're watching for your ascendant, this really could affect any area of your life. I'm just going to put it out there. So changes to your physical appearance, your identity, the body, your health, how you're taking care of your physical body. This could hit, this is like major life themes for you, Leo. So this could hit home, family, foundation for you. This could be relationships for you in business, in love, or in friendship. And this could also impact your career. So anything happening in the first house, that's a very prominent angle of the chart. So this really could affect any area of your life, Leo. So, but the biggest thing here, the biggest obvious here, is changes to your physical appearance, Leo. You're going to really want to amp up your style in some way. Maybe get a new haircut. Again, tattoos, piercings, cosmetic surgery, things like that, beauty enhancements, whatever the case may be. You're going to want to change something about the way you look. So, and again, I hope you watched the first part of my video. I did caution people about doing these kinds of things, especially if they are brand spanking new and you're not really sure of what the results are going to be. I do caution to do things like that during the next 4 months. If you can wait, great. But at the end of the day, you have free will, Leo. So you do you do whatever you feel good about doing. Also, Leo, you might even relook at how you present yourself to the world. So again, this could be, for example, career or on social media or whatever the case may be. Also for you, Leo, siblings, cousins, neighbors, communications, transportation may also feature during this transit. Keep in mind, if you are in the market for buying a new bike or a new vehicle, you're going to want to go for the most highest priced item. Okay, you're going to naturally gravitate towards that because we're all going to want to spend a lot of money during this transit. So again, watch out for that. If you can wait until at least September, October would be better to buy something brand spanking new, especially a big, high ticket, expensive item. Please wait. But again, you do you, Leo, and I'm just cautioning you, giving you a warning here that, yeah, you might regret something that you buy right now. You might regret that in October. So just be mindful of this energy. Also, you could have relatives coming back from the past, people that you haven't seen in a long time, maybe connecting with siblings you haven't seen in a long time, cousins, relatives, in-laws, maybe even neighbors. You might be connecting with neighbors that, old neighbors that you haven't seen for a long time as well. Also, Leo, career, public reputation could feature here as well. This is also hitting your parental access. So this could be changes, something to do with your parents. Could be layered into this transit as well. So do keep that in mind. So there could be changes to, especially if you're a manager, Leo, or a boss or a leader, probably changes in the workplace somehow. And if it's not you, you might see it happening around you. So just be mindful of that energy. This actually could be a promotion, Leo. This could be an opportunity to step up in your career, which is really exciting. Virgo. Now, this is happening in your 12th house of the unseen, healing, closures, karma, the subconscious, secrets, dreams, loss, and also psychological matters as well. So this is a little bit of a quieter house, Virgo, but you could be reassessing any areas of your life that I just mentioned there. One interesting thing about this energy is that secret love affairs could actually stir up or start during this transit. Or if you've been in a secret relationship, Virgo, this relationship might come to light during this transit, might come out in the open during this transit. What else here? Feelings, thoughts, emotions, psychological things might bubble up to the surface randomly. And it might kind of throw you for a loop because you might not really know where they're coming from. But again, Venus is in this house reassessing something, making things come to the surface for a reason, more than likely for you to acknowledge them, heal them, and let them go. Really good time to work with a psychologist or a therapist during this time, Virgo. So if that interests you, I definitely recommend looking into that. Let's see here. Really good time to rest, Virgo. Take a step back, take a vacation. Try to be still, meditate. You might be really indecisive on things. So again, I just recommend to sit still, try to tune into the energy and sit with the decision before you maybe act on it. Because again, you might feel sort of that push-pull mentality during the next 4 months. Listening to positive news or positive, is there such thing as positive news? Like positive podcasts, or listen to a positive book or something that lifts you up, lifts your spirit up would be a really good time to do this, because again, you might, from a psychological perspective, some strange things might come to the surface, and you're going to want to retreat. So definitely keep those positive vibes up, keep that positive mindset up, read, dive into a good book, whatever the case may be. And don't be afraid of solitude. This transit really honors going within as well. Pampering yourself is really fantastic during this transit. Just again, watch out for those big ticket items. Like say you want to do a spa thing. Do you really need that $12,000 spa, or can you manage with just spending maybe $500 on a spa? I don't know, but just things like that might come up, right? So just be mindful of that. Also, Virgo, a really good time to reassess your finances and how you make and how you earn money. Material possessions, you could also be reevaluating at this time. Like, do you need all those, do you need a whole bunch of stuff in your basement? Do you need 2-3 boats in the garage? Like, is it time to sort of start letting go of these material possessions to clear up this space and energy to welcome in something new in this area of life? So just be mindful of that. Also, long distance travel could feature during this time, or you could be reassessing maybe a trip that you booked. And also, again, keep in mind, if you book a really crazy expensive trip at this time, you might regret that in October, or something is going to look different in October. Maybe you didn't read the fine print. Maybe you realized you have to make 8 connections to get to your destination and you didn't know that. So again, make sure you know all the details before booking a really expensive trip overseas. Also, legal matters could be wrapping up for you or featuring or coming back around in the next 4 months. Dealing with people from different backgrounds, different cultures could feature this month. And this also highlights possibly higher education or teaching, if you resonate with that as well. There's going to be some reassessment, some readjustments when it comes to that. Okay, Libra. Libra, this is happening in your 11th house of friends, groups, community, memberships, also your role within these friendship circles, membership circles, associations, all these groups that you belong to. This is also your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, social media, the future, what supports you, basically. So Libra, you could really be reassessing any areas of your life that I just mentioned there. So one thing definitely could be friendships coming back from the past, absolutely, or people that you have not connected with in a really, really, really long time. Also, you could be running into people from your past that you haven't seen in a really long time. That's pretty common when this transit comes around in the 11th house. And also, Libra, a really good time to rethink your current friendships. So I'll give you an example. Like, say you're the glue, Libra, that keeps your friendship circle together. So maybe you're the one always hosting the parties, making the reservations, booking this, booking that. Maybe it's time for someone else to do that. And if they're not willing to do that, then again, reassess that friendship group. Like, what value do you bring to that group? Do they value you? Do they value your support? You know, or are you just like an administrative person or a runner that just does stuff for everybody else, you know? And if that's the case and you're comfortable with that, that's fine, Libra. But I'm just saying this transit is a perfect transit to cut ties with friendships that are just not working. And this also includes memberships and associations that you're sort of like, well, what value do they bring into my life, you know? And if they bring you down, if you're with a group of people that just bring you down and crush any idea or something like that you want to do, I don't know, Libra, maybe it's time to cut them loose, you know? But anyway, I'll leave that up to you, but that's definitely going to feature during this transit. Some other things that also might come up, Libra, because Venus is your planet. Venus rules your sign. So this could actually affect you quite personally, you know, quite physically. Like this could actually, it could be something to do with your body, especially if you're Libra rising. This could be physical as well. So, you know, your image, as I mentioned, your personal energy, your body, your health, something to do with beauty. You may want to, again, give yourself maybe a makeover, which hopefully you listened earlier. Just, I do caution people doing anything new at this time. Maybe wait until at least Venus goes direct, or better yet, when she gets out of shadow in October. But some other things that could come up for you at this time, Libra, is intimacy, sex, your sexual relationships or partnerships, taxes, debts, loans, like something might be coming back around in this area of life. Or on the other hand, it could be cleared up. Shared resources could be highlighted as well. You could be looking at, you know, not only shared money, but maybe shared property that you have with someone at this time. And also psychological matters might bubble up to the surface as well, Libra. So just do be mindful of that if you're not really sure where certain thoughts or emotions are coming from. Again, Venus could be digging something up for you to acknowledge, to heal, and to ultimately let go. It's a really good time to work with a counselor, work with a therapist, work with a trusted advisor on whatever it is that's coming up in your relationships, or, you know, psychological as well. And if I didn't already mention this, you know, you are the relationship sign, Libra. So you are the ultimate other sign. So I'm going to also throw in here not only reassessment of your friendship circles, but also love relationships as well, and possibly business partnerships as well, if that pertains to you. Okay, so Scorpio, this is happening in your 10th house of career, reputation, your public image, your status. Like, for example, going from married to single or single to married. This also covers off your long-term goals, the legacy you leave behind. This is also your parental axis, Scorpio. So this could be an authority figure in your life. This could be a father, mother, changes in their life. This could be bosses, you know, changes maybe in the workplace when it comes to a boss or an authority figure in your life. So Scorpio, you could really be reassessing any of these things in your life that I just mentioned. So do keep that in mind. You might find that you're more concerned about what other people think of you, especially in the workplace, you know, your public image, your reputation. You might find you're more concerned about that during this transit. You might be sort of thinking about your reputation or your image or how you project yourself. So again, if some of these things are really foreign to you, that's just Venus working in the background, again, working within and bubbling things up to the surface. And they're coming up for a reason, Scorpio, for you to sort of acknowledge them, think about them, reflect upon them, heal them if need be. So just keep that in mind. Also, this might be a time, Scorpio, where you've been chasing after something. And again, this could be a goal. This could be something to do with, career, for example. And then during this transit, it's going to make you stop and think, like, why am I chasing after this? And you might incorporate some changes. And in October, maybe lay those foundations down a little bit more, like a new direction, a little bit more of a firm foundation that you're rolling on. So that could be a possibility during this retrograde season for you. Also redefining your goals, your long-term goals, and really get to the bottom and the heart and clarifying those expectations that you have of yourself in your career, or again, something to do with your status or public reputation. Or maybe someone in the workplace forces you to do this, sits you down. Maybe your company's going through a restructuring and maybe a leader is going to come to you and say, look, I need to understand what you want to do in this role. Like, what do you want to do? Like, is this what you want to keep doing or not? Like, it's a really good time for that reassessment. Really good time, Scorpio, too, to plant those seeds for future growth. There we go. I mean, it could be about your future goals as well, but, plant those seeds of intention during this time as well. You don't have to take action on them right away, but definitely September, October would be a good time to start hitting the ground running with these ideas or things that come up during this time. Also, Scorpio, this could be a very sort of like psychological or subconscious time as well for you. So things could be bubbling up to the surface, and this could really touch any area of your life. It's bubbling up for a reason, to be, again, acknowledged, healed, let go in some way. Really good time to work with a psychologist or a therapist during this time. And yeah, really do go within. I would just say, Scorpio, don't stir on all of these things that you're bottling up, because you being a fixed sign, don't let these things fester in the body. Get them out somehow. Talk to a trusted friend, talk to a trusted advisor or counselor or whatever the case may be. Because again, there's a reason why these thoughts and emotions are coming to the surface. And again, this could affect any area of your life. This could be professionally, personally, like love relationships, and also friendships as well that you belong to. And 10th house could be father or mother as well, bubbling up to the surface. Yeah, watch out for your mental health, Scorpio. Very, very important, very critical during this time. And again, this isn't, if this doesn't resonate with you, again, that's fine. I'm just talking about possibilities here, just based on looking at your chart. Watch the mindset as well. Make sure you keep a positive mindset. Listen to those positive podcasts, or put positive sticky notes up somewhere, your work area, your bathroom, whatever the case may be. Just do your best to keep a high vibrational mindset. That's really going to help you out during this transit as well. But yeah, as I mentioned, you could be really reassessing any area of your life, because this is a key, the 10th house is a key area of life. So any relationship, any relationship you will be reassessing at this time. But like I mentioned, just, any action you take right now, it might look different in October. So if you can wait until maybe September, October, I would recommend that. But if you can't, you can't. Because as I mentioned earlier, with Venus squaring Uranus, this is a really liberating energy as well. So, okay, moving on to Sagittarius. This is happening in your 9th house of religion, law, higher education, teaching, long distance travel, your ethics, your belief systems. Also meeting people from all over the world, different cultural backgrounds. This is also pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone, Sagittarius. I don't know if I even have to tell you or remind you to do that, right? So Sag, you could be reassessing anything that I just rambled off here. You know, any area of life when it comes to ninth house matters. You could be reassessing your belief systems. If you belong to a religious association or religion, period, you could be reassessing that, understanding how it brings value into your life. For some of you, it actually might feel like your religion is dragging you down. So you do have to reassess that and keep in mind the Venus square Uranus could really liberate you from these if you're feeling bogged down or chained down, you know, this could be a time to really liberate yourself, Sag, and have that ultimate freedom. You could be rethinking educational pursuits or training at this time, which is definitely a good thing to do during this transit. You might actually have a bit of a different attitude, Sag, where, you know, when it comes to, you know, expenses, you might actually think, well, no, I'm not doing that. That's too expensive. Or no, I'm not taking that trip because it's too expensive. You actually might have a little bit of a gut check when it comes to things like that. Also, yeah, people might come to you about big travel plans, for example. So, you know, friendship circles or whatever, and they might be like, well, we're going to hit 10 countries in 30 days and it's going to cost like, I don't know, $40,000. And are you in? Are you in? You know, you might get big, extravagant sort of like invites like that, Sagittarius. And again, I always caution everybody with this transit to gut check the big ticket items because you might regret that in October. But actually, you Sagittarius, you might be like, no, I'm not up for that. I'm not into that. I want to stick around home. I want to just kind of like maybe clean up my routines or stick around my community. You actually might be able to you might notice you'll have a different opinion when it comes to stuff like that. So again, this might not resonate with every one of you, but the energy is there as a possibility. Also, if you have any confusion or sort of you find your thoughts are scattered, Sagittarius, just do your best to focus and reassess your thoughts. Try to, because yeah, you might have a lot of people in your ear chattering like, do this, do that, do this, do that. So yeah, you might have to go within for those answers, if you know what I mean. Sit with the decision before you take action on that decision. Like, how does it make you feel? How does it feel in the body before moving forward with whatever it is you want to move forward with. And again, friendship circles, memberships, groups, associations that you belong to might also feature during this retrograde. People coming back from the past could also be highlighted as well, like people that you haven't seen in a long time. And again, this could be tied into travel. So maybe you do travel back to your homeland and visit family that you have not seen in years and years and years, or you take a trip and you meet your soul family, your soul tribe. That could be a possibility as well. Because yeah, this is definitely past life energy, Sagittarius. So it's really cool. You could be running into people that, you know, you knew lifetimes ago, you know. Also a really good time to reassess your day-to-day health, routines, diet, nutrition, your day-to-day duties, responsibilities around the house or at work. You're going to want to reassess all of that, Sagittarius. So, and it's a really good time to do that as well. Also something to do with pets. Pets might be highlighted for you as well over the next 4 months. All right, Capricorn, this is happening in your 8th house of psychological matters. Big transformational change, rebirth, regeneration, taxes, debts, loans, shared finances or shared property, inheritance. This is also the house of the shadow, deep intimacy, passionate sex. What else here? Fear, power, control. So Capricorn, wow, this is definitely a little bit of a heavy house. This is the Pluto house, which is really interesting because Pluto is going to be backing into your sign here any day. So Capricorn, this is just going to be layering up into those Pluto themes. So you're going to be, you could be reassessing anything that I just mentioned there, from a psychological standpoint, from, a deep intimacy standpoint, and also money, shared resources and finances. So Capricorn, you might feel like there's something missing in your life during this transit. You could be asking yourself, where's my joy? Where's the happiness? Where's this? Where's that? You might be reminiscing about that. The only thing I caution is don't move quickly on the latest and greatest, especially if there's a crazy high price tag attached to it. Ask yourself, what is the void you're trying to fill? So for example, if you're like, well, I'm going to feel so much happier if I go out and spend $90,000 on this sports car. Really? Like, is that really what's going to fill the void or whatever it is you're trying to feel good about, and that's just one example. Maybe you want to go on a big bender to Las Vegas or something like that. Again, do you really need that right now? Like, is that really what's going to make things better? Because I kind of doubt it. And if you do pull the trigger on any of those things, like buying a big fancy house, a crazy expensive vehicle or mode of transportation, or a great big crazy expensive trip, you might regret it in October, Capricorn. So I just be mindful of this energy, because we're going to want to spend, and this is a money house for you. So we're going to want to spend. What else here? Actually, going back to something old, Capricorn, and reviving it looks better than buying something new. That actually might bring more happiness and joy into your life than buying, again, the latest and greatest gadget or whatever the case may be. Also, Capricorn, because this is also hitting your career house, or Libra occupies your career house. So this could be changes with career, reassessing your career. What are your next steps? Where do you want to go? This could be changes in the workplace. Your bosses could be, something could be happening in their lives. If you're a leader, Capricorn, this definitely could be affecting you in some way, shape, or form. And again, it could be as simple as going within and reassessing, who are you as a leader, or who are you as a CEO, and how do you want to move forward? How do you want to make changes? How do you want to ripple those changes out into the organization? Things like that might be coming up. Your status, your public reputation. Also, this is your parental access. So there could be, again, something to do with the mother or the father featuring, or some sort of authority figure in your life. Also, Capricorn, this is highlighting, your fun house. So dating, romance, people coming back from the past, old partners coming back from the past. Now, because this is also hitting your career house, this could be people coming back from the past with regards to career, an old business partner, old work colleagues, things like that. When I say old, I don't mean literally old, like people that you were connected to maybe years ago or at another prior job, things like that. And also lovers, you guys, like the energy is there. And if you're saying to yourself, well, Stacey, I'm happily married, it doesn't matter. Sometimes these people come into our lives for a reason, even if it's just that final closure, like, okay, I'm so glad I got rid of you, or I walked away from you. And again, this could be in love or in business, or it could even be a long-term friendship as well. In general, Capricorn, for all of us, this is the energy of people coming back from the past, period. So just be mindful of that. And again, it's meant to be, there's always a reason why people come back into our lives. So just keep that in mind. Okay, Aquarius, this is happening in your 7th house of contracts, marriage, legal matters, business partnerships, just Aquarius, relationships in general. And this could be love, business, or long-term friendships. So Aquarius, you're going to be reassessing your relationships of all levels, of all kinds during this transit. Now, you might need to revive a relationship. And again, when I say that, it could be business, it could be love, it could be your marriage, or it could be a long-term friendship, okay? So do keep that in mind. And again, take what resonates, leave the rest based on your personal situation. Really good time to ask yourself, Aquarius, what do you want out of your partnerships? What do you want out of your relationships? There definitely could be some drama. There could be some disruptions when it comes to your relationships. Again, business, love, friendship, however this pertains to you. As I mentioned earlier, I hope you watched my beginning there. I did talk about, starting a new relationship during this time, which is fine. I'm not going to stop anybody from dating, but the only thing I caution is if you meet somebody, say this month, you just started dating someone, you just started dating something or someone, and you're like, oh my God, I'm so in love, and yeah, we're going to elope to Las Vegas, and Elvis Presley is going to marry us, and blah, blah, blah. That's the kind of stuff I caution against, because in October, I almost guarantee something is going to throw you off in this relationship. You're not seeing something clearly right now. We're all wearing the rose-colored glasses right now because Venus is retrograde, or she will be going retrograde pretty quick here. So just keep that in mind, Aquarius. If you found your soulmate and you're desperately, solely, passionately in love, awesome. But before you move in together, before you get married, or whatever the case may be, I would just suggest wait till October. Wait till October, and if things are still fantastic, then go elope, is what I'm saying. Just kind of wait and see how the relationship evolves over the next 4 months. And if you are in a solid, stable relationship, Aquarius, this just might mean, as I mentioned, you might just need to revive and spice up the relationship a little bit. There might be some bumps in the road. There might be some squabbles, things like that. So again, get creative, Aquarius, like, how to bring the romance back, the passion back, maybe invest in a vacation, things like that. Get away with your partner, do something romantic. Things like that are really highlighted at this time as well. On the flip side, keep in mind, breakups don't usually last during a Venus retrograde. However, as I mentioned earlier, we have Venus squaring Uranus, and this is a really huge breaking free. This is running the other direction from a committed relationship. So this retrograde is going to be very unique in the fact that some relationships that break up during this time might not last, but some that do, they're going to be permanent, and that is thanks to Venus and squaring off to Uranus there. So again, it just depends on your situation. And Aquarius, you're going to feel this. Like, if you don't resonate with what I'm talking about, that means this doesn't, you're fine. You might get some bumps in the road in the next 4 months, but if you're sitting there like, yeah, I need to get out of this relationship, whether it's business or a friendship or a love relationship, this is your opportunity to go. This will make you move 100%. This is going to give you the courage, the drive to get the hell out of this relationship. So do keep that in mind. Also, Aquarius, home family foundation is also highlighted during this month. So renovations, you might want to be beautifying your space during this time. A really great time to do that. Also, this is the energy of people coming back from the past. So not only past love relationships, but this could be something to do with your family roots, like people that you haven't seen in a long time, relatives, things like that could feature, or you might be reminiscing about the past in some way. So again, not a bad thing, definitely not a bad thing, but yeah, great time for renovations, Aquarius. Great time to beautify your space and make it more you, make it more homey. Also, travel could feature for you in the next 4 months, or you could be reassessing a trip or travel in some way, shape, or form. You could be reassessing education or teaching, things like that. Also, legal matters, Aquarius, could come back around. So if you have unresolved legal matters, they might come back around. They could get resolved by at least October. So again, take what resonates, leave the rest, but just keep in mind some of these things might also feature for you over the next 4 months. Pisces, this is happening in your 6th house of day-to-day work, duty, responsibility, your health, your fitness, your diet, your pets, your habits, your routines. It also rules the workplace, your coworkers, and your day-to-day duties and responsibilities and obligations. Pisces, wow, what a heavy house for you, Pisces. So just think, Pisces, you're going to be reassessing at least one of those things that I just nattered off there. You're going to be reassessing at least one part of your life, your day-to-day life. And you actually might feel unsatisfied, Pisces. You might start to feel this already. You're just not satisfied with something to do with your day-to-day routine. And it could be something to do with your health. Now is the time to reassess and take action and change something in your routine. Definitely take care of your health, Pisces. If you've had health issues over the last little while, normally when Venus transits this house for us, Venus like smooths things over. Mars is also in here as well, and Mars like inflames and agitates things for us wherever he goes. But Venus like smooths things over. So you might have a hiccup with health as she is going retrograde. But things, it should be short-lived, I guess is what I'm trying to get at, because especially once she goes direct in September there, and then you'll feel hopefully a lot better in October. So just do keep that in mind. But a good transit, Pisces, to start thinking about the body and taking care of your health. Again, exercise, any sort of lifestyle routines, dietary changes, really beneficial time to do that right now. On the other hand, Venus in the 6th house, you're going to crave those donuts and sugary sweets and oh my God, yeah, Pisces. So this might be a double-edged sword. This is not easy. I have natally Pisces in my 6th house. So I get this energy. I totally get this energy. I love my sweets and all that fun sugary stuff. But it takes a toll on the body, unfortunately, right? So just be mindful of going back to an old habit of, getting that sugary Starbucks drink every day or something like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe try to just cut it back to once a week, something like that. There's nothing wrong with indulging ourselves and spoiling ourselves, but just do it within reason, Pisces. Because again, your body might start talking to you in ways that you don't like. Let's just put it that way. Let's see here. Yeah, also a really good time to, get into new exercise routines, if I didn't already say that, like a good time to change bad habits and stuff like that as well. Also, Pisces, you're going to be thinking about what really satisfies you in one or more areas of your life, and focus on that. Focus on the good in that routine or whatever the case may be. What else here? Siblings, cousins, neighbors might feature, people coming back from the past, people that you haven't seen in a long time, relatives, siblings you haven't seen in a long time. You maybe could travel to go see people, reunions, family reunions, things like that. Maybe something to do with your community. You run into a neighbor that you haven't seen in forever, or an old neighbor. Maybe you moved and you run into a neighbor that you haven't seen in a long time. That could be a possibility. Transportation as well might also feature Pisces. So the only thing I just caution here is if you are in the market to buy a new vehicle, just be mindful of the price tag. That's all, because again, you might regret any big purchases that we make during this time. We might regret in October. So just keep that in mind. Also, some other things that might come up during this transit is intimacy, deep, intense intimacy, your relationships, love relationships, partnerships, sex, or sexuality in general, taxes, debts, loans, any sort of shared resources with another person. This could also be property. Even psychological matters, Pisces, might bubble up to the surface during this time. Just know, if they do, they're coming up for a reason. They're coming up to be acknowledged, to be healed, and to be let go of in some way, shape, or form. So really good time to work with a counselor if you're not really sure why things are bubbling up to the surface. Maybe something needs to be closed out, excuse me, in this area of your life. So yeah, don't be afraid to reach out for help during this time, Pisces. Okay, so there's a wrap up of all the 12 signs. So I certainly hope this helped. Just keep in mind, these are really general forecasts, you guys. Otherwise this video would be really, really, really long. So I'm trying to keep the video short, sweet, to the point as humanly possible. So thank you so much for watching. And again, if you'd like a personal reading tailored just to you, for you, all about you, more than happy to look at your birth chart. Just get in touch with me on my website. I'll put that in the description box below. And just keep in mind, all my readings are customizable. So if there's something you can't find or it doesn't fit what you're looking for, reach out to me and we can figure something out. So I wish you all the best during your Venus transit through Leo and the retrograde season. It's going to be a wonderful, fantastic, enlightening, freedom-driven few months here. So it's going to be a really exciting, liberating time. So enjoy, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye for now.